where the trays are. Oh, look at these things here. These are different ones. Morning, Nella. How are you? Hey?
I'm okay.
What do you want? Chocolate croissant?
Maybe.
Or still donut? Or donuts? Kit Kat.
Obrigada. Você cartão? Okay. Sorry.
We're like 3 monkeys in a row.
We are. We should just be like, you know what I mean?
Okay, go. AlgarveAddicts.com. So, Izzy, I wanted to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Road trips, why are they so much fun? Or are they fun?
I don't know, I enjoy them, but that's because I'm usually connected to the Bluetooth and I get to play music the whole time.
Yeah,
That's why I like them.
Okay. How's it going, Nella? You're looking... Wow, it's amazing how you can do the makeup in the car. She's actually quite talented. I mean, she'll be going through bumps and doing eyeliner, which is... I don't know how you do it. I can never do that properly.
No, listen, I can't do it if we're not going through bumps. So...
Ah, right. Without a car. In a normal... With a mirror, etc.
You ruined the joke, man.
But are road trips fun? What do you think? Do you enjoy road trips? This road trip is a mammoth one for us because we're not used to long distances in Portugal. So we've started off down south in the Algarve, just near Faro, and we're heading north the whole day up to the very, very, very top, up to almost near the Spanish border, almost 700 kilometers towards Braga. But we're stopping in Batalha for lunch, and it's a fascinating little town, mainly due to the history and the historical consequences of a massive battle that happened there. However, we're also stopping for lunch because Manuela hasn't seen some of her work colleagues for about 20 years, maybe even 30 years. They all used to work together at a bank, and they're getting together for a reunion in one of the largest restaurants around, so we've got to check this place out. It's quite memorable. Sometimes it's the small things that drive people over the edge, and the little difference in life in Portugal is that when you are driving along the motorway on a large road trip, you get mosquitoes and insects on the screen, and you want to try and clean your windscreen. When you get to the service station, there's nothing there to help you to clean your windscreens. So it's like in South Africa, we would always have like a beautiful windscreen wiper blade and soapy water always available at every single service station. Here, can't find it for love or money. We have to move all the tables just for us. How was your meal?
Great, how was yours?
My meal was pretty good actually. I had about 4 courses. We're still waiting for the last one, the 4th one.
Yeah, but it's such good food, it's okay.
You didn't eat that much.
I'm not that hungry. There's 4 you can pick from.
It was loud in there. We had to get out for a little bit of peace and quiet and just, you know, when you've been sitting down for so long driving and sitting down eating for so long, you need to have a little bit of a break. Apparently this is one of the biggest restaurants in Batalha. But it's quite an impressive spot, isn't it? Wow.
Hi.
Oh, there's my little daughter. You eaten and drunk enough?
Yeah, I drank all your wine.
You ready to continue the road trip?
Yes,
She
I am.
didn't drink my wine. There's been tons of tension between Spain and Portugal over the last 1,000 years. Tension's a little bit of a euphemism though, as thousands of lives have been lost in the wars that have been fought defending Portugal. I found three main periods of conflict, although I'm sure there are more. Number one, 1385, the Battle of Aljubarrota, which is just here near Batalha. Number two, 1580 to 1640, the Spanish occupation of Portugal. And number three, in 1762, there were three failed invasions of Portugal. You know, if you really want to know about the sort of tension between Spain and Portugal, it's not just the military interventions over the last thousands of years. It's also, there's a saying in Portuguese. It says, de Espanha nem bom vento, nem bom casamentos, which means there's not a good wind doesn't come from Spain, and neither do good marriages come from Spanish and Portuguese mixes. So this is, the wind thing, it's because it's a hot, dry wind that comes from the swest, and it's not so good. The marriages is also an indication of the history, because there have been a lot of marriages between Spanish princesses and Portuguese kings or Portuguese princes to create unions, and they haven't worked out very well over the years. But there's another thing. There's also an economic thing, because generally you've got big corporates right in Europe, and these big corporate companies, they generally have an Iberian division, and the Spanish would basically dominate that. So all the CEOs of the big corporates and the sort of high-level managers are generally Spanish. And when they come to Portugal, the Portuguese are lower level. So the Portuguese have a slight sort of resentment towards that. So there's an element of that as well. So there's lots of things that contribute to the Spanish versus Portuguese tension. And it doesn't really help that the Spanish have no clue how to speak Portuguese, but the Portuguese, being a smaller country, can go over there to Spain and speak Spanish. All these things add up, and it makes for an interesting undercurrent. I mean, it's not like we're going to break out a war between Spain and Portugal, but it's just an interesting undercurrent to notice the difference between the Spanish and the Portuguese. Now we're right here next to the battlefield in the aptly named town of Batalha, which was named after the Battle of Aljubarrota. This guy, General Nuno Álvares Pereira, claimed a decisive victory for the Portuguese, ruling out Castilian or Spanish ambitions to the Portuguese throne. Oh my God! Now, this ended the 1383 to 1385 crisis and assured John as King of Portugal. Now this crisis basically came about as the Portuguese King Ferdinand I, he died, possibly from poisoning, we don't really know, and left no male heir, just Princess Beatriz. As a result, Portugal had no king for the previous 2 years, and the Castilians felt Portugal was easy pickings. The reasons for the Battle of Aljubarrota were much more complex than that, but eventually what it led to was the English supporting the Portuguese against the Spanish invading army, which were also supported by the French. And the Portuguese were vastly outnumbered, but managed to win, and this set the tone for the Treaty of Windsor between the United Kingdom and Portugal, which is the longest standing treaty in the world. To commemorate this incredible victory, this monastery that we're looking at right in front of us was built.
There's a guy dancing for you inside.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he dancing? Foto, é uma grande foto. É um vídeo. Vocês dançaram? O que é isto?
Caracol!
Ah, caracóis! Muitos caracóis.
Caracóis!
Obrigado. Top. Adeus. Hey.
Wait for me, man.
Thanks so much for doing a Batalha tour with me.
Anytime, Dad.
What you doing up there, dude?
Hi, I'm not supposed to be here. I gotta go.
Whoa, go. All right, let's go, guys. Off to Braga.
Let's go.
We've been driving for 4 hours and 41 minutes. What do you do on a road trip now?
Sing.
You what?
Sing.
You sing.
I was joking.
I thought,
Yes, I sing along. I talk, I sleep.
listen to music. So we've just arrived in Braga and in the middle of a bloody thunderstorm. You probably can't see because of the light, but it's actually getting dark. And it's like 8:30, driving all day, exhausted, got a headache. And this place is beautiful, even though it's pouring with rain. So we just managed to try and find a little restaurant and grab some food and check into the hotels and check this place out. But it's pretty cool. How's this? Yeah, that's not bad, eh? Check it out.
You got it. Have you chosen what you want?
No, I haven't. I'm just
Okay,
actually.
we gotta hurry up
Hi.
because the guys like want to-
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Hi.
So how's the food?
It's great.
To be honest, that food wasn't great at all. But what was great was the hotel. We checked into the Burgers Tribute Hotel, and I'll tell you much more about that in the next episode when we cruise around Braga, Porto, and all kinds of crazy, beautiful, wonderful places. So thanks again for watching, and have a fantastic week. See you next time. AlgarveAddicts.com